everybody. I don't even know if you can hear me, but hi. Hi, Twitch chat. How you doing? I'm Koi, and this is Speed Gaming, and we're doing a race of A Link to the Past randomizer between Fear Agent, Frostbite, Cassidy Moan, and Ravis. I'm co-commentating here with Angles, although he hasn't switched up to the on-air channel yet. Any second now, though. I won't be by myself. So this is an open race, meaning that we just start wherever we want, and our runners are off to random places. I currently have no audio, so that's cool. We're getting an early lumberjack check here from one of our racers. I'm not sure which racer because we haven't switched the scene yet. I'm very confused as to what's happening, by the way, you guys. My plan in its entirety is to just power through and just call stuff out. Here we go. We got 20 rupees right there from bottom left. And top right being the first player to enter Kakariko. It looks like he's going to start with the well. Lucky bombs in the first chest. That's going to save him a bit of time. Unless he accidentally throws one to the wrong place and then does it again. Uh-oh. Okay, third one was charm. Third was the charm. Bottom right was not willing to make that gamble to find bombs, and he's going all the way down to back of tavern first. No bombs there. He's gonna have to get lucky. If whoever's running the restream can hear me, we are on the wrong scene. I have no access to the tracker or any audio or anything. Bottom left checking out Blind's hideout. Top right behind him. Give me something good. We got rupees. Bombos. That's not helpful. Rupees. Also not helpful. And more rupees. Fantastic. Blind's hideout. Thank you so much. Angles, are you here with me?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're all right, man.
So,
Gloves in the back of Blind's hideout. That's cool.
that's a pretty nice one, considering that it is one of the Dark World actors. However, looking just at the runners, seeing that they don't have really the best of economy means that, yeah, they will have to work to get those ones.
So much apologies to chat about the technical difficulties we're having. I'm sure eventually we'll get it sorted out. Until then, we're gonna have to guess which runner is which and what's in their inventory.
So based on what I saw earlier on the title screen, Fear Agent is down to the left and Frostbite is down to the right. So I'm gonna guess it's Cassidy Moan up to the left and Ravis up to the right, based on the sprite that Ravis uses and use, which is the Sonic sprite.
Seems reasonable. Sick Kid giving us his shield. Oh my god, we just did it. We did it, guys. Progress.
Woohoo.
And now everybody's switched spots. Okay. Oh, we have Titan Smiths already. All right, cool.
Oh my.
So far, not a ton of deviation between our runners. We had some going to Lumberjack check, but basically everybody went to Kakariko first.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is kind of like the item den early on. With Kakariko, there are the 10 ones in the north, and we have Balomers and Tavern and Sick Kid at the bottom, as well as Race Game and Library. So it is a bit of an item den early on.
So we had Frostbite and Ravis opting to check the race game item first, but Fear Agent is going to do it blind. Unfortunately, he's only going to find 50 rupees over there, but you know, they have such low rupee count right now. This might actually be important later. And finally, some deviation. Ravis is going down to the dam, but Frostbite says Sahasrara is the play. And Fear Agent, just for a little more deviation, says Back of Escape. This is a pretty reasonable call, seeing as how he already has gloves and some bombs. And he found a sword somewhere, but I never saw that. I trust the tracker, though.
Yeah, very good find early on, especially considering just right now they don't really have any weapons, so once they decide to dip in those dungeons, Fear Agent can... Or maybe he doesn't have it. We are just being light.
He does not have a sword, okay. I didn't think he had a sword, but... Probably just a misclick. So it was Cape over at the dam, nothing in the back of Sahasrara, and nothing in the back of Escape.
Quite an interesting discovery as we so far. Gonna be interesting because of just that Cape making it possible that this might be an Aga seed, might be a hidden Aga, considering it was on Lumberjack, because I didn't see.
I totally understand the I see the cape, it must be an Agaseed idea that a lot of runners have, but it's actually really unlikely at this point, already having Mitts and the hammer. So,
yeah, it's not one possibility, but yeah. Having either that moon pearl on pyramid ledge, or something unlocking that pearl.
Yeah, and even if the moon pearl is on the pyramid, they have to find a sword and a lamp first. Dude, I totally heard that. Those crabs giving Ravis a bit of trouble. He makes it through, though.
Vad fan är det här alltså?
There, Angles?
Ja, den laggat upp igen. Jag kan dock bara vara Discord just nu.
Fire Rod and Mini Moldarm, okay? Okay, see, it's starting to come together. We got Fire Rod. We got Titans, we got a hammer. By the way, Angles, you are totally not on push to talk. just so you know. Getting an uncle check out of Ravis while Frostbite goes up to a Genus cave. Who's making the right call? Who's making the right call? Not Ravis. Maybe Frostbite. It's starting to look a lot like Eastern Palace, you guys. Frostbite also finding nothing. So I believe from the things that we've seen so far, the only things that are actually in logic are Front of Escape, Eastern Palace, and, if you can believe it, Zora. Zora. Although that's not that likely. Ravis will be our first runner, giving us a look at that Front of Escape. And I've lost angles, guys. He's gone. Oh no! Alright, boomerang chest. Or not boomerang chest, but the map chest having nothing in front of escape. Ravis moving on over to that boomerang chest. Frostbite saving one bomb after doing Mini Moldarm Cave. That's all he needs, though. He'll get his fire rod hit and his hammer here. So essentially, whenever we do find this Moon Pearl, everything's going to be open. I do not envy this seed. Looks like Ravis didn't find a whole bunch of stuff in the boomerang chest. He has to move on down to Zelda's cell. Opting for upswings with the hammer. Not ideal, but he got it. Only 300 rupees. Gonna save and quit. Not gonna bother with the dark room. Which is fine. It's not in logic anyway. But I think he's gonna have to go somewhere else soon. He'll do Back of Escape, but then I think he's gonna have to go to Eastern Palace soon. Fear Agent fearlessly using that hammer, killing those guards. Get wrecked. Yeah, the one nice thing about if it ends up being Zora is that everybody's pretty fine on money. I think only Ravis has the 500 rupees required, but everybody has the gloves and bombs and would be able to fit in a hula hand if they needed to. It looked like Fear Agent might have been setting up for an easier death warp. Yep, he's going to take a death. This will be a quick way back to the front of the escape, so he can do that dark room. Not really the easiest dark room to do, but with the fire rod and knowing where the torches are, it's not so bad. Ravis, meanwhile, is doing the same dark room, but I believe he's doing it from the other side. This is much more difficult because he's going to have to kill that key rat in the water. Just 3 bombs in Dark Cross. I think Eastern must be the play. Ravis says yes. He looks like he's definitely headed over to Sahasrara, and when that ends up being nothing, Eastern as well. Pretty uncomfortable seat so far. You have all these pieces to go all these places, but until you find that Moon Pearl, you can't really do anything. Fear Agent in the same spot as Ravis. He's going to head over to Sahasrara and Eastern as well. Frostbite just a little behind. Though I believe he did the Sahasrara check already. And of course, Cassidy, I'm sure, is on pace with everybody else. We just can't see it. You just have to believe, you guys. You just have to believe. Ravis showing off his stair pumping capability, dodging that blue guard. Good job. And we get to see our first look at Eastern Palace. Now, of course, this feels kind of bad, right? Coming into Eastern without the bow. Especially being a crystal dungeon, knowing you're gonna have to come back if the bow isn't here. But you gotta do what you gotta do. The Moon Pearl is somewhere. It has to be, right? It's like Frostbite's also going to do that dark room. Only going to find 3 bombs from that, though. All right, Compass Chest. What do you got for us? Eastern Palace. It is. It is. The heart container. Gosh darn it. Yeah, if we find lamp and sword, it's likely aga required, but it has to be lamp and sword, or at least things that lead to those. And the lamp by itself, welcome back, Ingles. A lamp by itself would probably lead our runners up the mountain before they'd ever do aga.
Honestly, very slim, but it can be one of those seeds, absolutely.
And of course, the big key in the, I think that's the map chest. And our first hint, cash is in the castle. Very helpful. Thanks, game.
Ooh.
And it's the boots? Okay.
What are those?
So I'm not an expert or anything, but I'd say it's like a 175% chance that the moon pearl's in King's Tomb. Watch it be in Bog Crocs.
That would be a very, very fun one, absolutely.
Yeah, just with having the mitts already, and then the boots bottlenecking everything, it just seems very likely that's King's Tomb is the answer. Ravis is doing the dark room to get to the big key chest. This is just an efficiency play, just in case this is also progression. He's having a little trouble, though. The Anti-Fairy and the Popos. Ooh. Okay, I think he got it. Unfortunately, now he doesn't have enough hearts to do the damage boost to get to this big chest, or to the big key chest. So he'll have to do this a little slow. Frostbite doing the fake flipper. He's not interested in Eastern. Eastern is no fun. Alright, finally Ravis has murdered everything in the room, can get his chest, and collect 20 rupees. I believe that was 3 items in Eastern. So they won't have to come back till Go Moon. Alright, both Ravis and Fear Agent checking King's Tomb first. 175%, you guys. 175. Oh my god, is it the... Oh, 10 arrows. Uh-oh.
Too bad.
Apparently we have replaced Cassidy Bone with Killer App, who already has Darkhold access, but we don't know where he got it. So good luck with the trackers catching up there. And it was Moonpearl in Bonkrocks. Frostbite's heading over to Zora. Let's see if that pays off. It looks like Killer App probably started Hype Cave, but he might have started at Skullwoods. We have pendants at Turtle Rock and Swamp. That's all I saw. And I think Angels is gonna call it a day. He's having some internet problems, so unless something changes, I will be solo commentating a 4-person race for the rest of this. So go easy on me, chat. I'll do my best. Hype Cave coming in with all the rupees and some arrows and hearts. Awesome, thanks Hype Cave. You're the best. Ravis also doing a Hype Cave start. Frostbite, unfortunately, with that, it didn't pay off. It wasn't a bad play, but it did not pay off going over to the Zora area. He's gonna have to go to Eastern now, find his boots, and eventually his Moonpearl. But any of that time he spent in the Zora area can be made up later by everybody else also going there. Fear Agent opting to go up to Pyramid and probably Catfish after instead of over to Thieves Town. Ravis looks like he's going to go down and check the hint in Swamp Palace. And we have something not terrible on the Pyramid. That's a hook shot. Fear Agent with the plays. Killer App making it through the hallway. I did not see the hint in Swamp. There's too many things to look at.
Hey, wait for me!
Oh, hey. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
I don't have to solo cast anymore. That's awesome. I could have done it. Don't anybody say otherwise.
Oh boy.
So Fear Agent is making his way up to Catfish. Or he was, and then the world stopped. Killer App is having a little bit of trouble with these grasshoppers. He made it, though, only to find red mail after taking a bunch of hits. Isn't that always the case?
Oh, definitely.
Pyramid paid off. Will Catfish as well.
Oh, man.
Kind of maybe Shovel. All right, Shovel on Catfish.
Only along the digging spot, but that's really it. Oh boy. I definitely caught this on, I was watching it myself, but that was Boots in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, everybody else has already been there. Frostbite got there a little later because he did the fake flipper over to Zora area, which ended up not paying off, but it could have. It could have. Fear Agent so far, our only player with the hook shot. Frostbite, just like everybody else doing King's Doom before Bonk Rocks. It just makes sense. You got the mitts.
Oh, definitely, yeah. That Shovel spot only giving out a heart container, though, but yeah, it's all fine.
That is one Red Maiden on Killer App's screen.
Yeah,
What
he's a coke.
Why
Yeah,
is she so red?
Well, it's because Killer App uses a coke spray and probably used the same palette. They probably share the same palette. I don't know.
I mean, Killer App, you must know that she's evil. She's covered in blood.
No, it's Jello. It's Jello.
Oh, it's okay. All right.
Oh, Moon Pearl. Nice.
I mean, you got to do something to bide your time while you're just sitting there waiting for Link to come save you.
Of course, yeah.
All right, Killer App's doing the hammer blind fight, starting with only 5 hearts. He does have red mail, but that doesn't help that much. So
I mean, he'll be
far,
fine.
damageless. He's got it. He's got
it. Yeah, he's got it.
Come down here, blind. You're so much easier to hit down here. There you go. And clean-ish fight. I mean, you can't really ask for much better when you're doing this with a hammer. That is not an easy thing to do.
I believe that was from the first crystal?
I believe so, yes.
Nice.
Killer App has a pretty decent lead into the Dark World, although Fear Agent does have that hook shot. And Pyramid is one of those locations where if you don't do it early enough, it might be like this really orphan location that can be very difficult to make a decision go to. Say if Killer App finds the bow, right? Then he'll want to go over to Pod instead of to Pyramid. And then in Pod he finds, say, the flippers, then he goes to Ice Palace. You know, it's going to be a long time before he can make it over to Pyramid, before it looks like a good play.
Now, if I just joined in too. Did anyone go into Zora just yet?
Frostbite did the fake flipper before finding the boots in Eastern. But there was no progression there.
Alright.
Fear Agent putting that hook shot to use, he's decided that he wants to go up the mountain. This is out of logic. He has no lamp and no flute.
Going inside Spec Rock, only 10 arrows, and on top of it.
Okay, nothing in the cave. Maybe the hint will be nice.
always money for the banana stand.
It wasn't nice. Hammerpeg's not paying off for Killer App. He does have the Smith following him. Without the mirror, he can't turn it in quite yet. But I think he'll probably go down to Hype Cave and then just either save and quit or continue on to Catfish and then turn in the Smith later.
Yeah, the good thing about having a save and quit is that you always keep that Smith in hand, so he doesn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, he can basically take the Smith anywhere except for like dungeons, well, most dungeons, and he can't go to Pod because Kiki will replace him. But picking up the Smith here, like say if he did find the bow in Hype Cave or something, he would have that option of just replacing the Smith with Kiki and going to Pod instead.
Mm-hmm.
First look at Paradox Cave from Fear Agent. The bottom, not paying off.
He's got plenty of rupees. He might open a pod if he wants to, but we'll just wait and see until he goes there. And once he gets the bow, of course. And nothing on top.
Paradox Cave, why? It's okay. Fear Agent still has a ton of checks up here on the mountain with the hookshot and the mitts. This is an item density play if I ever saw one.
Yeah, of course. With Death Mountain is one of the big item dense locations in the entire game. One of them.
All right, it looks like Killer App is going to make the play. He's decided he wants to take the Smith on an even longer journey. He'll go up to Pyramid and likely Catfish after to get his own hookshot and shovel. Powder up on the floating island. Can't get that yet.
Now, I probably wouldn't be surprised if they save that unless they do some last locationing. If by some chance the fetch quest has something of use there.
Yeah, fetch quests are largely you get it if you can, but generally you don't want to go too far out of your way. Some bombs in the Kakariko well. Interesting. Well, if he does run out of bombs, he knows exactly where to go. So thank you, Hinta.
Well, of course, there probably is probably to pick that up early in the game, but yeah.
What? You weren't even watching then? Maybe he skipped one of the chests. They could have bombs.
I was watching prior.
Calling me a liar.
I was watching prior.
This guy. Fear Agent with the coffee break. He's gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Probably call his mom. See how she's doing. He'll have plenty of time before this finishes. Killer App picking up his shovel to go along with that hook shot. Will he turn in the shovel real quick before he does anything else? I would. He says no. No, it looks like he's going to go turn in the Smith. It's kind of weird. You'd think he would start at Koi's house. Not Koi's house, but Link's house. It says Koi's house when I play the game.
I mean, it's just whatever comes into my mind.
Oh, Killer App hasn't done King's Tomb? Really? Okay. He we didn't get to see him before he had Darkhold access. That's interesting. I guess he just did Bonk Rocks first and then just went straight to the Darkhold.
Yeah, that makes more sense, honestly. And then, of course, there was only 10 arrows there, but...
Well, I was thinking he would start at Link's house and go turn in the shovel on his way to turning in the Smith, but this makes sense now, too, since he hadn't done King's Tomb yet. Ravis headed into Skull Woods. Now, without a sword, he cannot finish this dungeon, but he can get to all the other chests except for the boss. Frostbite giving us a look at Bumper Cave. Very healthy cave.
Oh, silver arrows on the blacksmith.
Not bad. A bow would be nicer, but, not bad.
Oh, yeah, of course.
All right, Killer App's going to continue south and get us that fetch quest check. I'm very excited. Fear Agent nailing the bumper skip. That saves a whole second, you guys. 1 whole second.
Amazing.
Well, the dangerous part is if you mess up, it loses a lot. He does get middle hold though. So. Oh man, that feels bad. I think Killer App will be going up the mountain out of logic. Now, it is out of logic. This is not a difficult sequence break to do. What they're after here is item density. You can check so many items on the mountain right now.
Definitely.
And Frostbite also got his hook shot, and well, I think he got the hook shot. Did he not get the hook shot? I would think he did, but I didn't see him. Green pendant on Tower of Hera.
That makes Sahasrara possible, and I believe we did find the can of Samari on Moldorm, actually.
Oh, fun. So without a sword, even if Turtle Rock is Bombos, he won't be able to go inside. Watch it be Bombos. It's gonna be Bombos just because he doesn't have a sword. Right, we still have Spiral Cave. Spiral Cave could pay off with the sword. Oh, I see. Frostbite was coming from the other direction. He's getting his hook shot now.
Ten arrows inside Spiral Cave.
Yeah, there could be a sword in the Dark World checks, but without the mirror, he won't be able to open Turtle Rock on that same trip. So, I mean, if he wants to go into Turtle Rock at this point, he has to find a sword and a mirror, and Turtle Rock has to be Bombos. But without the Ice Rod, he doesn't really want to go into Turtle Rock anyway.
Of course, yeah. And I mean, to be fair, he's also on a pendant, so unless
maybe I wouldn't mind going into Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod, with it being a pendant.
Unless if by some random chance we find progression on Pen, but that's in the very, very, very like far present, whatever it's called. I don't know.
It's never been.
Yeah.
Except for, when it is. But
yeah.
We don't count those seeds. Those aren't real seeds.
No, don't.
Frostbite continuing his southern routing. He went from Catfish down to Pyramid into Pod. I really like this. We'll see if it pays off, though. Nobody else has been here yet. And let's get this medallion check on Turtle Rock. It is Ether. It's the best medallion, but it's not one that we have. Ravis getting his own hook shot. Everybody's got it now.
Mm-hmm. You're making the dot. Yep, you're making a hook shot cave.
Hook shot cave, do you love me?
Definitely, that was our first sword.
I mean, it loves me a little bit. I mean, yeah, all right. I'm on board with this. So the mountain on the whole didn't really have a ton of stuff. We did get Cane of Samaria and a sword, which are both very nice things to have, but not exactly what you were looking for making that play.
Yeah, but it's such a rude place where that sword is. Oh, I can't remember the time. I can remember the time when oh boy, sword on Myers Shed. My first sword was on Myers Shed, and I took like an hour 19 to get it finally.
So the hint in Pod was the boots are in Eastern Palace. Frostbite told us what he thought of that hint. Gave it a nice shot from the fire rod.
Nice. And he dislodged the camera for the potion glitch.
Oh my god, what a glitchy Glitcherson.
He just walked to the left, and it suddenly dislodges the camera. Wow.
So the idea behind choosing to use this glitch here is not that he thinks there's progression on the Bowlock side. It's just in case there is progression on the Bowlock side. This is an efficiency play for sure. He just needs to be careful that if he does get progression behind this, that he keeps in mind it was behind the bow. So it was 2 keys on the Bowlock side. That means that both the Harmless Hellway and the Dark Maze are locked behind the bow, logically. Killer app just wanted to see what was in that shop. So I have an easy way to remember. I have an easy way to remember which side is Super Bunny. And I always say to myself, light is right, because if I'm in the light world, I go in the right entrance, and if I'm not, I don't.
Oh yeah, that's. I mean, it's not that hard when you know what you're doing. So yeah.
Just a little mental flub there. Fear Agent headed to the back of Skolas. I think we saw somebody else do this, but I don't remember their grouping progression here. Oh yeah, he has a sword now. He can go kill Montula. Oh, this will be a fun fight. We'll probably get some hammer shots. Frostbite now headed to the back of Pod. So there were only 4 keys in the front of Pod, 2 on the bow lock side. So 2 of those small keys were locked behind the bow, which puts not this first chest out of logic, but both Harmless Hellway and the Dark Maze for sure, even if he did have the lamp.
I can't believe I'm going to be saying this, but this is definitely a mullet mansion in its own right, because how that usually goes back then. It was like business in front, part in the back.
Oh, definitely. Getting those hammer hits on Mothula, this is also not easy. Lots of hammer fights today.
Nice.
Mirror in the Rupee basement in Palace of Darkness.
Nice. And there's a lamp on Mothula.
Okay, so lamp on Mothula was behind the sword that we found on the mountain. Now there may be a sword accessible somewhere else, but if that was the only sword available, then that does mean that the flute locks the mountain. Frostbite is gonna do the hammer jump here.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one.
Having a little trouble finding the spot. He's got it. He's got it. There he goes.
Ooh,
Flippers in the big chest.
Big payoff for Frostbite doing that hammer jump. And it looks like there was a sort of spike cave? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Works for me. Spike Cave was absolutely in logic, so that sword that they found on the mountain did not lock. Oh no, it wasn't in logic. No. So that's 2 swords behind mountain access. Okay. This is interesting. So if both swords were on the mountain, and then of course the lamp came to us from one of those swords, then that means that the flute is logical access to the mountain. Now we haven't seen every possible check yet, so it is possible that there's another sword available, which would put the lamp in logic. But at this point, I think it's unlikely. So where is this flute?
We got. It's the let me try again.
Oh my god.
Oh.
It was in Pod.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm paying attention. I swear. You guys just trust me. Okay, so flute and Pod led to swords on the mountain, led to lamp on Mothula, led to the rest of Pod. Logically required. Pod double dip. I'm Koi. I'll be with you for the next hour and a half.
And I'm Professor Render, the guy that you just is there for the ride, and that's it. But Frostbite activates his flutes. He's got flash travel now. He's able to get to the mire area.
You know, if the mirror locks the bow, it's a logical triple dip of Pod.
That is crazy.
The mirror or the flippers.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know about you, but I'm thinking Pendant Swamp. I know it's crazy, but I feel like that's a play that I would make. It's a little
wouldn't be wrong.
crazy because they also have like logical access to Ice Palace.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. It's high density too, like the next high density location out of the bunch.
I just really like Swamp. It's the best dungeon.
Yeah, and then there's also Ice Palace too, because it's crystal. You can clear it.
So Killer App's running a little low on magic, so he opts to bombos all these Gibdos, so that he can use the Fire Rod. I bet he's wishing he had the lamp. Well, he's about to find it. Lucky guy. Ravis giving us a check of the Mire area. We'll get to see what our other required medallion is. And what do we got? What do we got? Quake, I believe. It's a little fuzzy on my end, but I think it was Quake.
Oh, there's a single arrow on Irished.
Basically go mode.
And there's another. Oh, not this again.
What I missed? What happened?
Mireshed. Never saw it on Mireshed.
Which sort of Mire?
Oh, I was just talking about this. Oh, don't remind me. At least it wasn't an hour 19. Hold up. What's going on over here?
We have Desert was boots locked, but of course we do have the boots, so it's okay.
Killer App, what's going on?
He's a little foobar. I trust he'll get back to us. Cute little hammer dash there from Fear Agent. Frostbite checking out Tower of Hera. Alright, is Desert the payoff? 10 Arrows says no. And poor Frostbite will have to do the Hera basement if he wants to see what else is in this dungeon. He's gonna do it. Good call too, though, because we know Canis Maria's in here.
I actually did get the information too that apparently Killer App forfeited.
I still believe he can pull it off. Forfeit or no. Why do you have so little faith, Professor Renderer?
It's there. I'm on the IRC, so
Have more faith. He can unforfeit if he wants to.
Oh, alright.
Alright, Raven's gonna give us a fun little Landmo fight. It does have the fire rod, so it's not that bad. Although he did just burn a shot. So he only has 5 shots left with this fire rod, unless he chooses to pick up that small magic. And Fear Agent gonna give us the blind script. Nope, never mind. Alright, I think he still has it. He's got it. He's got it. Nicely done. Not exactly the blind script, but it did go pretty quick. Ravis picks up his second crystal there in Desert Palace.
Something Chet points out too that there's actually the reason why Killer App forfeit is because there's a soft lock on the Super Nintendo that you can't really unforfeit from there. So.
What is with all these people with so little faith? Killer App, if he wanted to, he could go re-download the seed. He could start from the beginning and through sheer force of will and execution, still beat everybody else.
Alright then. Alright then.
As long
Anyway.
as his name is on my restream, I believe in Killer App.
Anyway. Frostbite steps on to the Moldorm fight.
He'll get his Kano Samaria here, assuming he doesn't also get middle hold. I think he's got it. There we go. Now, Fury Agent giving us some Smith checks. He's doing hammer picks first. We know that this is nothing, but there were silver arrows on the Smith. We have not seen purple chest, however. Not a ton to talk about, seeing as how everybody's doing checks that we already saw from other players. So guys, if you have a moment, please give our runners a follow. They are working really hard, putting themselves out there, being in front of such a large, fun crowd like you guys.
Oh, definitely.
Fear Agent headed up to Stumpy. I don't believe I remember this, but it was nothing. Yep. Aw. Ravis and Frostbite both doing some Dark Death Mountain checks. And if I remember correctly, the only thing we found up here was the sword and hookshot cave. Fear Agent, though, he's setting up a water walk. Okay. This is an interesting call to do this over going to pod. So with that water walk, he'll be able to get here into the waterfall ferry real simply, and then run all the way over to Zora. Unfortunately, we already saw these checks, and they were not very helpful. He will have to make his way to pod eventually. Or is he going to ice? You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare. Okay, he's going to Hobo. I wish he had dared. That would have been fun.
So, at this point, they say too, because everyone else is doing their own checks, and could be playing Mario Maker right now, but at the moment, I'm going to be watching this.
Alright, so he's fake flippering back. I think he might actually go to Ice Palace, because I don't know why you do Hobo second otherwise. Oh my god. Fear Agent with the play. He says Ice Palace. Flippers? What flippers? We got this. Fighter Sword, Ice Palace.
I really like this play from Fear.
They took Killer App's name off the screen. My heart! It's broken!
Poor Koi.
So this is out of logic, obviously, for Fear Agent. He does not have the flippers get to this dungeon, but he can full clear it, and it is a crystal. This is, a pretty reasonable play, especially with Swamp being a pendant, meaning that he may not ever need the flippers.
So, yeah, of course, if there's progression there, that'd be a good plus for Fear to make that out of logic play to Ice Palace here.
Especially if that progression is the bow, because we know that the flippers are in Palace of Darkness. Green pendant is nothing. Nothing.
Good hint from Fear.
I believe I don't think we've actually seen green pendant yet.
We did see the green pendant that was on Tower of Hero.
Well, I mean, I know that Frostbite got the green pendant and that he went over to Pod, but I don't believe that he turned it in.
Right, but since we know that since we have the hit from the Kakariko Village Elder, that technically means that green pendant's not required for anything in particular.
Nothing on Desert Ledge. Little hookshot strats here in Pen Gator lineup. Alright, do the clip. Do the clip. Oh, he almost had it. He was so close. If you hookshot down, like right before that big spike hits you, it passes over you and you don't take any damage. That's what he was attempting to do. Unique item underwater. So we found the shovel on Catfish, so that would apply, but there may be another one somewhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that can really open it up. Swamp Palace can also comes to mind too with the flooded chests. I always like Rebus like Rebus is doing here. The clip that causes when you're pulling the lever and you get the boots at the right time too. You come out like with the boot state too. I love that.
Oh, to dash down while you're pulling the lever.
Yeah.
If you do it like I don't know exactly how frame perfectly, but like near frame perfectly, you can actually get out of the room like almost like 20 frames faster by skipping the anti-fairy. It's not worth it though.
Yeah, it's pretty inconsistent. It's not worth it. It saves some time, but it's really inconsistent. It doesn't really add up overall. So
it's more of a swag kind of thing.
Like the spin clip.
It was Bombos to enter Meyer? Okay. It looked like Quake to me. But the Tracker's no best. Tracker's no best. Ice Palace, not the best so far. So Fear Agent, unfortunately, is going to have to go a long way to get to the Ice Tea chest. Or did he already find the 3 items? Okay, I guess he found 3 items. Never mind. I don't know why I talk. So this is not a very safe fight. He does have red mail, so he can take quite a few hits here. And he has Bombo, so he saves some magic for using the fire rod. But as soon as he runs out of magic, like all he's got left is that hammer. Nice early spin, putting them all in the corner like that. It makes it a lot easier to hit.
Oh, definitely.
And now he's out of magic, so just fighter, sword, and hammer.
Here we go again.
Careful. So far doing a really nice job. Gets one of them down. 1 to go. There we go. Nice job, Fear Agent. Brave has given us a backup swamp check. He really wants those flippers to mean something.
Look, Medora.
Another unique item underwater. The book in the backup swamp.
Pretty soggy book, honestly. And oh boy, there's a mushroom.
Fetch quest. Yes, book was bow locked, so the bow will not be on the tablets. Very true.
And if I'm not mistaken, neither the ped? This is a question just coming from a guy who doesn't understand ped logic, so...
What? What was your question?
It's also possible that the bow can't be on the ped too?
Why?
Because we know that since the bow can't be on the tablet, since it's bow locked, wouldn't it also apply for the ped too?
The bow can't be on the tablets because the flippers were behind the bow.
Right.
So you need flippers to get the bow. So the bow can't be on the tablet because flippers are required to get the ped. Yes. Okay. I'm following. I gotcha. Bow can't be on.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured.
I just had to put it all out in the open so I could understand it. I'm very much a visual learner. I wrote it down. So, Pendant Swamp, did you pay off? I think all he got was that book.
That was pretty much it. Yeah, that book, and that can't. And there's nothing else can be.
He's checking bombos right now. Oh my god! Oh my god! It's
bombs.
3 bombs. Oh.
How ironic!
Ether tablet could still be a thing. So if I'm Ravis, I'm thinking, okay, well, I just got nothing from Swamp. I feel so behind. I'd probably go right up the mountain and go check Ether tablet just in case. Ravis getting his flipper checks in. I imagine he'll do Ice Palace after this. Fear Agent giving us the pod glitch. The potion camera unlock here in Palace Darkness. Mimics not the brightest of enemies. And despite Fear Agent's efforts at sequence breaking and trying to avoid this double dip of pod, he's not going to find the bow here. It's starting to look a lot like Meyer.
Everywhere you go. Oh, come on. I want to finish it.
Oh, I don't know any words.
Oh.
It's not even Christmas time. Everybody always gets mad at me when I sing Christmas music outside of season.
It's Christmas in July.
Well, to be fair, people get mad at me when I sing Christmas music in season too. So I should probably just not.
I mean, it's Christmas in July. Literally, July started yesterday.
It's got to be Christmas sometime in the world because of like time zones, right? I'm pretty sure.
Right. Anyway.
So Ravis heading up to Tower of Hera. It looks like he'll find his Canis Maria there. Although, you know, there's a good chance that you know, you see Tower of Hera pendant. It's basement locked. You have to do tower room and everything. I would not be surprised to see somebody leave. Nobody's done it yet, though. We do also get the Ether tablet check. See if Swamp really was nothing. It was. Okay, poor Swamp. Poor Ravis.
Yeah. Oof.
Frostbite giving us our first look at Magic Bat.
50 rupees.
He's a good bat. Not a helpful bat, but he's a good bat.
The Bat of Fortune.
Did he leave? Did he not do Tower of Hera? No! I'm very surprised by this, honestly. You go all the way up there to Ether Tablet. It's very difficult to say, I'm just not going to do this dungeon that I'm standing right in front of. Oh my god, Frostbite with the play. He finds the bow on purple chest.
Oh, there you go.
So, confirmed it was not a logically required triple dip of Palace of Darkness, though some of our players will be triple dipping it anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's, Oh wait, is that go mode? I think it's go. Oh, it's go mode.
Yep, that's.
Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm paying attention. Go mode for Frostbite.
What hour?
He's still on Master Sword, but who cares? Go mode. Let's do it.
Oh, and while I'm thinking about this, if you go on to Big Gaming's Twitter, there is a poll on there for tonight's 9 o'clock. Well, not tonight's 9 o'clock, but tomorrow's 2 p.m. miscellaneous category. The options you can choose for this 9 o'clock, for the 9 o'clock tomorrow, this 9 o'clock, the 2 p.m. Category are retro, inverted, hard standard mode, and open all dungeon. The polls will close at 9 p.m. tonight. So if you want to try out, we want your voices to be heard. So if you really like Randomizer, help us decide, because we don't know what to choose. There's so many options for Randomizer.
Yes, guys, please click the link that Professor Renderer put in chat. Go to Twitter and vote for retro. We need more retro in our lives. If you vote for something else, you're not my friend. Wait, well, we can be friends. So I'm just not going to talk to you.
Right. I believe we got a hint that mentioned the boomerang and pedestal. The blue boomerang and pedestal.
I think so. So it's actually a little surprising to me that Frostbite, now that he's in Go mode, is opting to go to Mire first. Like, of all the crystal dungeons he has available, this is probably the most troublesome one to do without silvers or the lamp. And a little unfortunate, because if he had gone to Skull Woods first, which is a much easier dungeon to do on his equipment, he would find the lamp. Alright, this is not the hardest dark room. You know, despite popular belief, this is not the hardest dark room, but it is one of the trickier ones. You can't really just feel your way around like most dark rooms. You have to have a system in place. Frostbite's got one. Throw in the block up from the bottom wall. That's my personal way of doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty much an annoying dark room than anything else.
Yeah, it can be very easy to get tilted and suddenly take a bunch of damage. But my gosh, I don't know how long it's going to be before somebody else decides to go purple chest.
Yeah, that bow in the purple chest is not a kind place for that.
Nice IQBJ from Ravis. Never mind. I thought he had it. Apparently I'm not familiar with his sprite's visual cue. Good Landmo fight out of Fear Agent. Never mind, I thought he killed that one. Okay, I'm just all over the place today. Okay, Frostbite! He's gonna give us a good victorious fight though. Here we go. Master Sword and the Cape. He's opting for Cape strats here. So the Cape is funny like this. If there's too much stuff happening on the screen, the Cape has a really hard time spending magic. So as long as he's still spamming the sword and hitting lots of eyes, the Cape just doesn't spend his magic very quickly.
Yeah, it also works with if you're holding the wall on the tile room in Gannis Tower.
And then 8 arrows to the big eye will finish off that fight. Easy peasy. Way to go, Frostbite. Now I know why he went to Meyer first, because he's not scared of it like I am.
I'm not scared of Meyer either, because I know the logic for that, and I know a couple things about it. To be fair, I'd rather have a lamp for that dark room, because I'm still eating on dark rooms. But, yeah.
Looks like Frostbite's going to Ice Palace next. This is a very quick dungeon to go mode. Ice Palace Bomb Jump lets you skip everything. Fear Agent, meanwhile, going to Meyer himself, but until he does Purple Chess, this is just time that could be better spent elsewhere. Not to say that Fear Agent is like making the wrong decision or anything. It makes a lot of sense to go to Meyer right now. It's completely in logic. It's a crystal dungeon. It has 2 items. Bo could be here. We just happen to know that it's not.
Right. And even then, he can still do alternate strats.
Now, I don't believe that Fear Agent or Ravis have been to the Smith sequence at all. It was Silvers on the Blacksmith, wasn't it?
Silvers on the Blacksmith, yes.
Oh, why doesn't Frostbite have Silvers then?
He never went there.
He had to go there. Because Purple Chest was the bow.
Oh, actually,
maybe Silvers were somewhere else.
No, wait, that's oh, wait, yeah, that's true. I'll look at his bow again once we get the probably Eastern Palace, or Pod Eastern rather. Oh, okay, there we go. He did return to Smith, but didn't go back for the reward. That explains it better. And what do you know? There's our final sword.
Why wouldn't he go back for the reward? Was there a hint for Purple Chest? That's the only logical reason I could think of not actually getting the reward from Smith and doing Purple Chest after.
I mean, to be fair, he's fine doing Civil as Ganon. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if he does Mash. I mean, he's better doing Mash. He isn't afraid to do Mash or Silverless.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying he can't do it. I just mean, like, why wouldn't he check that location?
Right.
I guess it's possible that he just forgot that he turned into Smith and forgot to pick it up, and it's just unfortunate he won't have the Silvers. So this fight's a little easier with Master Sword than with the Fighter Sword. A lot of people have trouble hitting these puffs with the hammer. The sword swipes won't do as much damage, but you can get them in a lot easier than with the hammer. Nice kill from Frostbite. Unfortunately, no Spooky Meyer from Fear Agent. Alright, Ravis is heading south through Village of Outcast. I think he might be after Smith's sequence. Unfortunately for Ravis, even if he does get the bow here, he still needs that Cane of Samaria, which was on Pendant Hera. Your agent with a very similar victorious fight here, also going for cave straps. Okay, and Ravis will confirm for us that silvers were on the blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Unless he also skips it, I don't know.
No, he's going for it.
Oh, okay, he's going. Okay.
There it
Yes,
is.
silver is on the blacksmith. So Frostbite did just not get the blacksmith item. That's so weird. I can only think of he either forgot to walk back in and get the item, or he saw a hint for purple chest and knew that it was go mode.
Yeah.
You do not have to get the smith item to pick up the purple chest. Frostbite now headed to Mothula. He will get his lamp here and then kick himself a little bit for having already done the Mire Dark Room. Ooh, narrowly dodges that bunny beam.
Nice.
Dashes right past that key though and gets wall mastered.
Oh. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Right, guys, this is why you shouldn't try to go for that heart in the corner. Bad things happen when you try to go for that heart. He's a little low on magic now, but he has enough to finish this. As long as this Gibdo doesn't block his shot. The Gibdo blocked his shot. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Blue potion in the bank though. We got this.
Oh no.
Fear Agent picking up his gold sword. He found all the sword locations, but still can't seem to find that bow.
Yeah, that is rough. Like I said, that purple chest is a mean spot for that bow. Oh, yeah, he's got. Oh wait, I'm looking at Raven's design, not Frostbites. Oops.
Looks like Fear Agent will be going to Smith Sequence now, though, so he'll find his bow. Ravis did find his bow, but still needs that Cane of Samaria for go mode. He will probably finish both Pod and Eastern before he dares go to Tower of Para, though. Fear Agent, on the other hand, when he gets his bow, will be in go mode. Five crystals down for Frostbite. 2 to go. All right, Fear Agent, will you pick up the silvers? Yes, he will. Okay. Oh, I can't wait to tell Frostbite where the silvers were.
Oh man.
I mean, he doesn't need them, right? Like he's a very well accomplished player. He can totally do Master Sword Herbalist if that's what ends up happening. But it's so much faster with silvers. Mario block to hit the switch. He'll pick up a single heart here to get his sword beams back, this being one of the few places in the game where you kind of want to have sword beams.
It was killing Helmastar.
Fear Agent now in go mode, and just like Frostbite, all he has left is Pod and Eastern. So Frostbite a little bit ahead, but Fear Agent's coming up quick. The difference in swords can be very impactful here.
And silver arrows. Don't forget about that.
Yeah,
swords
and silvers. So I believe the 2 swords that Frostbite didn't get were Spike and Mire? I think. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that the 2 swords that he didn't find are not places that he's going to check before going to Galen's Tower.
Yeah, it was in Spike Cave, and it was also in the Mire chest, one of the Mire chests.
How can you have bow but not silver's Technolink axe? I would love an answer to that question. We'll be sure to ask him if he does an interview. Silvers were on the smith, and the bow was on purple chest. So he had to turn in the smith to get the purple chest to spawn, but not go into the smith's house after to get the item. And it's not even just the Ganon fight that's going to be a time difference between Frostbite and Fear. Like, if they have to kill Ice Armos, it's faster with Silvers. Going up the Gauntlet, it's faster with that Butter Sword. Land mode 2, faster with a better sword. Faster with Silvers. But he does have a lead at the moment.
That is true. And of course, Fear Agent will have a better time here because it pretty much will come down to execution and sword advantage.
I believe that it'll just say Light World for the Ganon hints when he tells them where silvers are.
Yeah, it's a light. It's technically a light world check.
I'm not sure if there's any other light world locations that Frostbite didn't do. He may not even be aware that he didn't do the smith item. Nice and easy 2 butter sword slashes to the face for Helmasilver. And Frostbite's into Eastern. So this is actually the arrow count for Frostbite is a big question mark right now, because he's going to spend a bunch of arrows to do the Armos Knights fight, but he needs to have a bunch of arrows when he goes to Ganon's Tower if he doesn't happen to like pick up any. There are places you can get arrows on the way, but I think when I have to finish my crystals with Eastern and Pod, I like to do Eastern first so that I can replenish those arrows on the way to Helmasilver.
Right.
Fear Agent, though, has silvers, so, like, it doesn't even matter.
You
need, like, 4 arrows, and you're fine.
It's like 6, I think it's like 6 arrows, and then each one's like 13. And each shot, and without it, it's like 3 shots for each Armos. So, that would be 18 in total.
Yeah, assuming he doesn't make mistakes, it's 18 silvers, or 18 arrows for Armos. So you can see him replenishing the arrows before the fight, because he knows he's going to need arrows after this fight. Oh, shoots an extra one into the wall. Another extra into the wall. And misses the quick kill. He's down to 9 arrows.
Yikes.
9 arrows is like the optimal, or the minimum number of arrows you want to bring with you up the gauntlet. But if he has to do Ice Armos, he might be hurting for arrows.
Alright. Koi, you want to play a game?
Not really, but we can.
Alright. I got a fun game for you. Inside Ganon's Tower, there are 22 locations where the big key can possibly
that
be.
Game!
Yeah, there you go.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it could be in any of these locations. It could be in the Rando room, it could be in the Dark Petition room, it could be in the Firebar room. If you're masochistic enough, it could be even be in the Tower room.
What about the big chest?
Nah, the big chest doesn't count. But mine is I'm going to do the same, but I always do, and that is random room with the exact number being 11, assuming that they go hope room first and.
Well, I think Frostbite has stolen my heart after Killer App crushed it with that really unfortunate technical difficulties. So I want for Frostbite, I want that big key to be in the very first chest that Frostbite checks to give him the best chance of taking this race. Meanwhile, during all of this close raceness, Ravis did find his bow on purple chest and is cleaning up his last crystal. He's a little behind. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, right, he already had the bow. He needs some Samaria. All right, he's cleaning up his crystal, and then he'll have to go to Era to get Samaria. And then go back to Meyer. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a problem.
It's very unfortunate for Ravis. I understand this call to go into Meyer, though. Gear Agent's going up Death Mountain the slightly longer way. Although I think it's almost a wash if you haven't already opened the portal. Meanwhile, Frostbite entering the tower at 1:21:47.
And Fear Agent will be joining him shortly afterwards. First chest is a rupee, and second chest is more rupees. Like all 300. Yeah. Number 3 is the big, it's a small key, and taking that.
So Fear Agent enters at 1:22:15. So we have about a 30-second difference between these two runners.
That will be very that time will come down pretty significantly as we'll have again does that sword advantage, and not to mention too, Frostbite's got to do Master Silverless, which will put Fear in a pretty big lead here. Wow, that's a lot of keys in the Dark Position room.
Frostbite's moving on to Fire Snakes. Employing some Samaria strats for these crystal switches. Makes sense with no boomerang to be had.
Yeah, this will be number 9.
Having a little trouble getting to that warp tile, but he got it.
Oh, there it is, number 9.
Big key in Fire Snakes. Not a terrible place for the route that they decided to take. Dark Magician, eat your heart out.
Yeah, and the one who gets it right at the nose is Reiksha Gaming. I think that's how you say that. So congratulations, you win some random seeds. Yeah.
Alright, so Frostbite's moving on to Mimics 2. He has 3 arrows. Oh, lucky arrow drop from the Mimic. There is 5 arrows in one of those pots, but sometimes it despawns. So it's nice that he got through that room.
Yeah, good call from Frostbite. He's still hurting in terms of arrow count, so we'll see how that will affect him once we go higher and higher.
Well, his arrows aren't going to be that helpful from this point on.
Right, that's true. But again,
some people do employ a lot of arrow strats in the gauntlet rooms, especially on the Stalfos. But
yeah, but at this point, Fear's closing in on Frostbite significantly.
yeah, he should be making up some ground here in the gauntlet with that butter sword, especially against Red Zazax, which will take 2 Master Sword swipes to kill instead of just the 1 butter. Ravis is doing the old man. Has he not done this? Oh my gosh.
That's interesting.
Well, this'll lead him up farther up the mountain. He'll get his king off. Frostbite opting to take the Bunny Beam Fairy. This is going to change the Lambo spawns and make this a little more challenging. He does have the lamp, so he doesn't have to worry that much about his magic, but you do want to save a little bit of magic.
Fear
and
now,
just like that, Fear takes the lead.
Yeah, Fear now gets a position change. Just things solely due to the fact that Silver Arrows was very key in here.
Frostbite is going to be kicking himself.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But that's especially again with that since he's on Master Sword, he's got quite a challenge ahead.
Mimics, or Wizards 2 is by far my most favorite room in this dungeon. It just looks so cool when you kill them like that. Fear Agent picking up this magic so he can fire all these torches in the coming room. Avoids the jingle glitch. Good job. Meanwhile, Ravis is finally in Tower of Hera, doing the basement. This will eventually get him that Canis Maria he's been looking for. Now, I expect Frostbite will open these gauntlet chests. Master Sword Silverless sucks, so...
Oh yeah, 24 spins.
Everything you can do to avoid that.
Yeah, 24 spins on Ganon is no easy feat. And Fear, oh, that's a... Oh, man.
He falls to Moldorm to Trolldorm to, I should say.
Yeah, Fear is employing some hover strats here on Fear on here, but get ready for it.
The meme hover. There is literally no point to do this right
there
now
you
with
go.
this equipment.
There
but
you go.
To look really awesome. Fear Agent, you are my hero.
Hovering in a daily race. Who would have known?
Frostbite finds out there is nothing up the gauntlet. He is stuck doing Master Sword Silverless.
Unfortunate.
Why can't you just be a nice guy, Aga? Come on, Aga. There we go. It's actually kind of crazy how close they are. That Moldorm fall, that saved Frostbite a bunch of time. Or it cost Fear Agent some time that let Frostbite catch up a little bit. But the Ganon fight is going to be the big difference maker. Like, it's a long fight with Master Sword Silverless.
But Fear drops down to the Ganon fight, fully equipped, while Frostbite will follow him shortly after with 24 spins.
Right, so on Ganon, Ganon only takes damage from a tempered damage or better, which means that with the Master Sword, you have to spin. Spin to win. Swipes do nothing. So it'll be 12 spins in phase 1, 12 in phase 2, 4 in phase 3, and 24 more in phase 4. I'm not sure about Frostbite's potion setup. If he doesn't have a magic refill, though, it's kind of tight to try and do triples on Master Sword Silverless. Meanwhile, Fear Agent just has to swipe him a few times, and the boss just kind of rolls over.
Yeah. Now he doesn't have to set up a torch glitch, so you'll have to do this normally. But this will be a big deal. But that's a triple
Nice.
for
Triple.
Oh, nice.
And just like that, Fear Agent, our first restreamed runner to finish off the Big Pig. And he manages to walk up those steps and finish the game. GG's to him.
Fear Agent has finished in 5th place overall in the race with a time of 1:31:01. GG's to him. The overall winner of the race was Gloin in 1st place with a time of 1:22:16. Shire in 2nd place of a time of 1:28:46. Matt 7898 in 3rd place of a time of 1:21:36. And then following after that is Illis24 in 4th place of a time of 1:29:38.
Frostbite does get the torch glitch. That is vital to Master Sword Silverless.
And we're joined by the winner of the restream, Fear Agent.
GG Fear Agent.
Hey, GG's.
So, pretty nice seat, I think. What do you think?
I don't know. I thought I was doing okay, but then to finish in 5th feels pretty bad.
It's not bad. It's still top 5 finish. Isn't too shabby.
I think you did fantastic.
I thought I did all right, and then everyone started finishing, and it felt terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, the sequence of items was ridiculous. The fact that King of Samaria was on Moldorm, Hook was on Pyramid, and Bow was in Purple Chest, like all of those are terrible. And then the 2 items were bow locked in Pod. It was just, man, what a mean seed.
Yeah, those 3 items are definitely a big point of contention. Like honestly, like rando gonna rando, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoever managed to luck their way into checking those 3 particular locations, so it wasn't a very good spot.
Yeah,
but even
I guess
more
that's
than
the
that,
thing.
you still want to have like the swords and stuff. Like right now, Frostbite was ahead of you going into Ganon's Tower, but because he missed silvers and 2 swords, you passed him by quite a bit.
Was there a hint for the bow somewhere?
I don't believe so. We think our official guess right now is that Frostbite just forgot to get the item from the smith.
Yeah, that's strange.
Or maybe you just bypass it entirely. Speaking
You
of
have
Frostbite,
to turn in the smith to get the bow.
Well, yeah, you had to turn in the smith, but you don't got to get the item. So, like,
Right.
he might have just.
But why wouldn't you? Yeah,
Let's
why
go
wouldn't
back
you get the item?
yeah, but
We
speaking of
never
Frostbite,
saw a hint for it.
speaking of Frostbite, he does complete Master Sword serverless, and he has finished with a time of 1:33:47 in 7th place, and then following shortly after that is Wolfie Dragon 1990 in 6th place, time of 1:32:22.
Meanwhile, Ravis has gotten his 7th crystal and making his way to Ganon's Tower. Unfortunately, Ravis did put off Pendant Hera for quite a bit of time, ended up having to double dip Meyer.
Going into Ice Palace, I think, was a mistake. Well, I don't know.
Honestly, I don't think it was a mistake. It just didn't pay off.
We got the hint about the item in Pod, and I figured it was going to be flippers. And what do you know? It was flippers, but that was bow locked, and bow was my last item. So I knew that bow couldn't be waterlocked or behind the mirror. Which maybe I should have I guess skipped most of desert after getting the big key.
Backlash stick. What does that mean?
I mean, I only
Welcome,
Sorry.
Frostbite.
Yo, GG Fear.
Yo, why didn't you get the silvers, Frostbite? Why
I don't
didn't you
even know.
talk to the Smiths?
What?
They're at the Smiths. You turned them in.
I don't know, man. I wasn't paying attention. Honestly, I was so frustrated at how long this race took to get started that I really wasn't even in it the whole time. I just didn't care. I kind of wanted to forfeit, but I thought I might have been on the restream, even though I wasn't really sure what the hell was going on. So I decided to run it out. But honestly, like when these things start 10 minutes late, and we all know what happened, and I just don't want to race at that point, and I was frustrated the whole time. So I forgot to buy bombs and CAC, which actually could have really helped me because I went to Eastern, except I didn't go to Eastern, so it actually really hurt me because I absolute last located the boots, which always feels great, especially when they're in a spot you've already been once. But no, I was frustrated the whole time. And then I forgot, like, the logic, so I was looking spots for the bow where the bow couldn't possibly be for at least, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes until I wisened up and finally found it. So,
I mean, you still did really well. I mean,
yeah.
It's a little unfortunate that you didn't pick up the silvers. That would have saved you quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean,
you were
I
actually
could've
ahead
got
of Fear Agent going into GT.
I'm not surprised by that. I got picked up by the hand too in Skullwoods. That was real cool.
Yeah, it's real frustrating. Very tilting.
Yeah, well, and it was so stupid because it's like, oh, let's get the heart because I only have 1,000 hearts in red mail. I might accidentally die to Mothula, and it's because I got the heart. I sort of sprinted past the key and didn't get the key and blah blah blah. But that was annoying. And then yeah, I made so many dumb plays. It was like, as long as you got the Cane of Samaria, nothing else mattered because every other item was in the way. You couldn't possibly miss it.
That's the thing I'm so curious about is like I finished in 5th. I don't feel good about that. And that means everyone else I felt like my play into Hera was pretty loose and risky and got rewarded for it. And I guess everyone else did the exact same thing.
I bet a lot of people got the boots real late and they got up there and they knew that Hera and TR were both pendants, but they could get everything else. And the reason I did it is like I just don't want to come back here. It's 2 items and a hint, and I like the fire rod. I thought had to lead to something, right? So, and I'd already abandoned Skull Woods, so.
All I had left logically to get the bow was Zora. That's all. So I basically last location the bow.
Oh no, I didn't. I got Zora long before that. I got Zora before I got the boot. Because I had Eastern where I'd already been, or I had Zora in Logic, and I was like, I'm just going to fake flipper. And then I was going to try and do the fake flipper swim up to Zora, because obviously I didn't have the Moon Pearl yet. But I got about halfway there, and it got real monk-ass, and I hopped out onto the land. So I made it halfway there. That's dangerous, though, if you want to waste your time one day trying to swim all the way to Zora.
There's one thing I do feel really good about, and it's coming up. It's my menu time.
Yeah, I didn't even look at mine.
I think my menu time is pretty hot. That feels pretty good.
I think we will be the judge of that.
Once it comes out of race.
Can you get the sub 2? The magical sub 2?
No, I don't think I've ever gotten a sub 2.
I've seen sub 2 before, but it's always like these god seeds where I have like 100 collection.
Yeah, real low rate.
215. That is pretty hot. It is.
That is. I'm impressed. Oh, 141 collection rate. Really good.
It's just one of those seeds where I felt good until I got to Gan's Tower, and then everyone else started clearing it.
Yeah, I felt good. Yeah, I mean, I felt good in my sort of routing. I felt horrible in my execution. I mean, it's hard. It's not like it's like, oh, how bad was it? But like, I could point out like a minute and a half where the time where I like bonked and not hitting doors properly. Like I was really off today. But like I said, as long as you hit that Hera pick and went to pod, like I did them both really early, so I got really lucky on that front. So.
I think you both did fantastic. I mean, rando's gonna rando, especially in these large races where there's lots of people. The odds that somebody else makes the God Vision plays where they just happen to luck into finding everything faster than you did. It's so high that it's going to be somebody other than you.
Well, and I think the fact that it is a bigger race probably leads honestly more people to diving into Hera than if it's like a 1v1 scenario or a smaller race. Because they figure, someone's going to do it, and if it's the play, I'm going to win, right? But when like 9 people do it, then it's just a race again. So
yeah, it's the difference between racing for first place and racing for top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was your go mode, Frost?
Bow. And so like I'd cleared so I went right into like the boost for my very last location. I immediately noped out, didn't go through any more of Eastern, went and got the Moon Pearl, went right into the Thieves Town area, got the hint about the item being in the dark. I went and checked the Cape Ledge, Kern jumped, did Catfish, found the hook shot, went right into Pod. So like I basically god routed that opening bit there, and then that got me. But I was stupid because I got the bow, I got the flute. So I'm like, okay, the stuff that the flute is blocking the flute can block the bow. But then I got the flippers and the mirror, and I'm starting looking at these flippers and mirror spots for the bow, and I finally realized like what on earth am I doing? That can't possibly be the answer. So, but I mean, it's not like Desert and cost me that much time really, and I was still looking for a sword at that point, a lot of it anyway. So. Did you end up with Master Sword as well, or?
Yeah, I ended up with Butter Sword.
Butter?
There was a sword in Misery Mire, and I think Spike Cave was the other one that you didn't get.
Yeah. Checking those things, shaking my head. I go-moded 5 dungeons. Well, I guess not really, because Eastern and Pod were both double tips, but...
Yeah, I didn't go mode any dungeon.
But that Master Sword hurt me for sure. Definitely hurt me on Vitreous, like as far as speed, right? I didn't have the silvers either, so that hurt me like probably 3-4 cycles. So yeah, I mean, not picking up the silvers, that's a real genius play, obviously. But
I think Fear also did the Master Sword cape strats on Vidi.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
No, I had tempered in.
Oh, did you have tempered?
There was a sword in Mire.
Right.
Yeah, I was in go mode by the time I went in Mire. I thought about going into Mire before I was in go mode, but it was dark, and I had potions and stuff, so I wasn't really worried about dying, but it's slower to do it in the dark, and then I didn't have the bow, and it's not like I was worried about dying, because with the cape you can just spam it, and it doesn't really matter with Master Sword, but the last phase is really slow when you have to do that and run around, so I decided not to go in there, and I was going to check every other spot the bow could be, which was basically like the Smith Chain and Skull Woods for me, I think, at that point. Maybe it could have been at the Green Pendant, I think, as well.
It was weird to me when you did find the bow, that when you had all those dungeons to go mode, that you chose Mire first.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously you didn't know that the lamp was on Mothula.
Yeah.
But like when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, gosh, Mire is the last place I want to go first.
I always just pick the hardest ones. I figure I want to get the ones that are the most difficult execution done out of the way first. So I went to Mire, then Ice, then Skull Woods, and found the... If I had known the lamp was on Mothula, I would have went to Pod and used
definitely
Dark first, so that I didn't have to use that lamp. But I was really happy to find the lamp, because I figured I was going in Master Sword Silverlist, although I never, you all hope to find something in GT. The lamp actually helps a lot in that, because even with 2 magic refills, it's really tight, I think, if you miss a torch glitch to get it without Tempered Sword. I'm not even sure what the minimum number
definitely.
is.
I think if you miss the torch glitch doing Master Sword Silverlist, you just fall off.
Yeah, I would have if that's what would have. If that's what it ended up would have been. But no, I was reasonably happy with my Silverlist Master Sword. I haven't done one in a while. I always seem to have Master Sword Silver.
Fantastic.
And it went pretty quick. I didn't fall. It's always a good thing when you don't fall. But yeah, it's always, I don't know. I always seem to skip the source, man. I don't know what it is. I swear to God, every seed lease recently, I finished on Master Sword, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, these were just right in the way, you dummy," and you skipped them like the silvers this time. That's incredible. But I'm allergic to combat upgrades, I guess. Low percent.
Well, I mean, if you can only have one or the other, I think progression items are probably the way to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. I read it too well. That can happen. Honestly, the GT route I took, I kind of took it hoping it was going to be the wrong answer, so I could full clear more of GT by going into the compass first and then going back to the left, because I normally do that sort of half dark magician strat that everyone's seeming to be doing recently. And
the pink magician where you mirror.
yeah,
after
you
compass
just
room.
do it normally, but skip out after the compass room and go back left side. But instead of going full right. But when I have Master Sword and Silverless, I kind of want to just pull through as much of it as I can. Obviously, it's not like I kept going after I found the big key, but I wouldn't have been upset had I got, the big key later and there was a sword before it. But it is what it is, yeah.
It's pretty funny you skip silvers. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
that's-
on the way.
Fear, come on, buddy. Remember
It's
the
such
Moon
a
Pearl
weird
incident?
thing
Come
to
on, buddy.
skip.
I'm the guy that found the Moon Pearl and didn't even know till I did Aga and I didn't turn into my body, and I was like, oh, I got the Moon Pearl. So nothing surprises me of what I'll forget and what I'll skip in this game.
Moldorm was my bane today. He knocked me off the first time I was up in Hera, and then Moldorm 2 as well.
Yeah,
I don't think we can blame Moldorm for that one though.
What did you
He
hover
got-
off and try and fall?
No, I didn't fall. He knocked me down while I was hovering.
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's what I meant. Yeah. But yeah, the it's always the boots at Eastern too. I don't know what it is. I've had a couple seasons. I don't know, like recently where I figured I was just gonna get the Moon Pearl in Eastern and I was only gonna be marginally irate. And then you find the boots and it's like, oh great! Not only did I last locate the Dark World, I also last located the boots.
Meanwhile, while we're talking, Ravis just blasted his way through Ganon's Tower, Agatu, and Ganon. He'll be finishing here as soon as he battles the bridge boss. He did it. Ravis finishes 14th overall with a time of 1:46.10.
GT Ray. Yeah, it's like the battle of two seeds, right? Did you go to Hera or did you not go to Hera? That's sort of going to be the two groups of finishers, probably. I mean, obviously everyone went to Hera, but did you go upstairs?
Hera was probably like the biggest difference maker, and then also how much did you do before doing the Smith sequence?
Yeah, I did all of it. Like I skipped Mimic or Checkerboard because I knew that Bo couldn't be there, and I checked K40. I skipped K45, Graveyard Ledge because I know Bo couldn't be there. But
yeah, because sorry, buddy. Because I was still on Master Sword, I checked all of those things, even though I knew Bo couldn't be there. I was hoping I would just run into a sword or something, and apparently I did run into the Silver Arrows, but I just didn't want to take
it. Yeah, it was interesting. It was a logical required double dip of pod for the lamp, but you could have gotten the bow before going to pod. Of course, you'd have to do mirrorless Smith sequence for that. Welcome, Ravis, to the chat. GG. So, Tower of Hera sucks, right?
It's okay. I am more mad about Smith Chain. Always having something in recently, why ever. And it's most of the time the bow.
Yeah, Smith Chain, we were just talking about this. Smith Chain and Pendant Moldorm being the big question marks on where you finish in this race. I think there's reason to think like the hook shot might have caused some people problems too. Sometimes it's hard to make that way over to Pyramid, but everybody on the restream at least found that relatively early.
Well, I was thinking about when you see a flute in a pod early on and you don't have the bow yet, you assume that's probably locking your bow, because why would the flute be in that chest, right? Yeah, even like I don't know what to say. I am recently playing not really good, getting tilted really fast, not making the correct choices, and yeah, that's haunting me in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I can see that being kind of frustrating. Although when I talk to people about this, I always try and make sure that they understand that there's a difference when you're analyzing your run. There's a difference between making the wrong play and making a bad gamble.
Well, I mean, I took a high risk going in things like Swamp because I knew the bow couldn't be there, but I was like, okay, this is probably like a chain. You get the bow somewhere to get all these things in the bag somewhere,
right?
Or somehow, and well, no, not at all. Who needs a mirror?
Bravis, what was your go mode, Canis Maria?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough because you got that hint. There was a hint about swamp, right?
Left side swamp, yeah. And big chest.
There's something under. There was a unique item underwater, wasn't there? Didn't I see that hint
that
somewhere?
was the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
What
book
about
and the shovel on Catfish.
Okay, I didn't get that.
I didn't read any of these hints either. What was I doing today?
Like I look at you going into Swamp Bravis, and obviously it was like this huge time loss. There was nothing from Swamp whatsoever. It could have been completely skipped. But the decision to go into Swamp isn't necessarily wrong. It could have had something.
Well, you know, as I said, I was only looking for cane and the bow which blocked swamp, so technically it could have been just the cane. So this is a
Right.
high gamble, definitely, even if it's 5 items. But when I saw the bow, I was somehow glad and somehow not, because if I would have found the bow before going into pod, I would have done the same checks basically. So it would have been a time loss either way. And yeah, I don't know. I know right at the moment it's not my time. These kinds of phases come here and there. I hope it's gonna be away when I'm in the ASG live event. I hope I'm the luckiest person. But yeah, what I gotta work on is basically like don't get too emotional because of things happening, and
Right.
consistency.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to do anything crazy, like be so tilted that you forget to talk to the smith after turning him in.
Who would ever do something like that?
Who would?
Well, I mean, things like going back into Hera, take your small key, which you intentionally left because you didn't want to go up. Then going up with the small key and realizing you have the small key, not the big key. Things like that is just like additional time loss you don't need.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even full clearing ice with just a cane left is such a risky thing, and I was gambling on the bow, locking all these things for Sumaya, and luckily it wasn't Graveyard Ledge because that was the only mirror location I had left. I was like, okay, if it's Graveyard Ledge, I absolutely outminded myself, but.
Oh, for the
Nope.
bow? Or for the cane?
Just a casual cane on Molon.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know. I think there is a large luck factor in these large races. Like execution definitely makes a big difference, and like if you're real clean on your execution, you could full clear the game and still finish pretty well. But in those top spots, luck plays such a huge factor in the difference between first place and fifth place and 10th place.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta.
And that's
skip
why we love
something.
it.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta skip some things most of the time to win a daily. Obviously, you have to play good. That's the basic factor, and you have to route correctly. So yeah, GG to everybody. GG. I don't know who won the restream. I don't know. Was it Frost? I don't know who's won.
It was Fear Agent.
Oh, Fear. GG Fear. GG
Yeah, Fear
everybody,
Agent
whatever.
finished first on the stream. Just
yeah.
GG's all around.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
the way
I
I.
got GT location. Oh no, GT Big Key 11. Dang, I was thinking about 10, but no. I did the small key. Oh
Not
wait,
even
no, I
10.
did 10. Huh. Cool.
Well, I'm gonna go. Thanks for the restream, everyone, and GG's, Frostbite, and Ravis, and unfortunately Killer App too. So, thanks everybody for the comms and trackers and everything.
Yeah, for sure. And remember, chat, if you liked the show that these guys put on for you, make sure to follow the runners, Fear Agent, Frostbite, Ravis, and Killer App, though his console exploded. But he still deserves a follow.
Mm-hmm. And remember that tomorrow at 9 o'clock the poll will close. So get your votes in on that on Twitter's on Speed Gaming's Twitter. And if you want more Speed Gaming, you can look at the schedule below you. Quite a lot going on. We have 9 o'clock we have a 9 o'clock daily race coming up here. So with that, that's gonna do it for us.
Bye, guys.
Bye.